Hi! Have you come across a scenario where you want to capture a particular site or asset, but that particular site or asset isn't actually yet mapped on Google Maps? So then how do you plan your drone flight? We'll have a look in this video. Hey everyone, I'm Varun, the founder and CEO at Hammer Missions, and in this video, I want to try and explain the 3 different approaches that you can take to try and capture a site that is not yet mapped and therefore not available on Google Maps, Mapbox, or whatever mapping service you might be using. Right, so let's jump straight in. Approach number 1, fly to draw. So the very first approach that you could take is to essentially use your drone as almost as a drawing tool and mark your particular site or asset in the field itself or on the site itself and plan your mission that way. So this particular approach assumes that you can do the flight planning on the site itself using your flight planning app, and you're able to essentially use the drone to mark the corners for the polygon of the site that you're trying to capture, or the center of the tower that you might try and capture. So the approach number 1 would be fly to draw, use your drone as a measurement instrument and start drawing. Right, let's have a look at approach number 2. So approach number 2 is to essentially import existing CAD files or existing site overlays. So depending on the site you're trying to capture, whether it's a construction site or a solar park or a cell tower, you might actually have CAD drawings available from the contractor, architects, or site owners, anyone that is essentially contracting you to get the job done. So you can request CAD files, and what you can do is you can overlay these CAD files in your flight planning software and then essentially create the flight plan on top of these CAD files. The other thing you could request for is a KML file if that's available. So that's approach number 2. And approach number 3 is using an existing map or model that you might have of the site. So this is a very new approach, and we haven't seen a lot of people use this approach so far, but it's becoming increasingly common. And the approach essentially is you're able to visit the site multiple times, and therefore what you do is you go and capture the site with a rough flight plan first, and you bring that back into the software and use that particular site, whether it's a map or a model, to create your second flight plan, which is a lot more detailed and a lot more accurate. So that would be approach number 3. Right, so in this video, what I've done is I've covered very quickly the 3 different approaches that you can use to create your flight plan for your particular sites, even if the site is not on Google Maps. We most commonly see this with solar parks, because solar parks that are newly built don't really appear on Google Maps. Yet if you want to align your drone very much with every single row in that solar park and capture highly accurate data, then being able to use the drone or use a CAD file or an existing map might be the best way to be able to plan that mission. It's also becoming common for construction sites to not yet be fully available on Google Maps, because obviously it's a new construction, and Google with their satellite data hasn't really updated the map. So it might be an opportunity for you to use the CAD files or to use an existing map or model from the site to create the flight plan on top of. And at the end of the day, if you think about it, what is a drone? A drone is essentially a flying sensor creating these maps and models. And we've had those maps and models available through Google, but from a satellite, from a different flying sensor at a different altitude. So what we're really doing is that to be able to get a really real-time view of the site or the asset, we're using the drone, which is a sensor at a lower altitude, to create a much more dynamic and updated map or model of the site, which can then be used or even dispersed for others to use to create a new map or model of the site. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this video gives you an insight into how you can capture a map or model for a site that's not on Google Maps or Mapbox yet. If you like this video and I liked the tip, please do give us a like. If you would like to hear more about some of these tips that we put out on our channel, please do subscribe. If you think anyone from your team might benefit from this, please share the video with them. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video for Knowledge Hub.